Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Liam undergoes risky experimental surgery as Bill prays for a miracle. In the private clinic, Bill asks Liam, who is sitting up, if he's feeling okay. Liam isn't sure. He's worried about being in the private hospital about to undergo experimental surgery. Bill is being optimistic when Grace appears. She recognizes this as unorthodox, but she believes in her colleague and the process. Once Liam gets preparing for his operation, the surgeon comes in, followed by Grace. Bill says he's counting on him to save his son's life. Liam wonders if they're good to go. Grace takes Bill aside to inform him the money has to be sent and paid in full. He pushes her to text him the facts. He doesn't want to lose his son. Bill informs Liam he'll be waiting outside. "I love you." Liam adds, "I love you too, Dad." They both appear teary and strained. Bill, Liam, B&B. A surprise visitor and a missing patient. At the hospital, Bridget tells Finn she'll go check on Liam. She sincerely hopes he had a wonderful night. Finn's amazed at how he's handled all of this. He's placed his loved ones first. Bridget says he took a bullet for Steffi. Finn reflects on how tough for her it is to wrap her mind around him dying. She's confident Liam will want to get home as soon as possible. Finn claims he's not ready yet. Poppy appears and says, "Because of what my daughter did and how troubled she was." Poppy B&B. Poppy tells Finn he needs to speak to him about Luna. She never thought she did right by her, but she loved Finn the way she wanted to be loved. Poppy has a lot of regrets when it comes to her daughter, but not telling her who her father is will bother her the most. Bridget goes, and Poppy believes Finn dislikes her. She claimed she was glad their daughter is gone. She can't forget the horrific things Luna done to her. Could he forgive her? Finn wonders what she wants him to say. Luna was quite disturbed. Poppy screams, "He was still my child." And his. He must be suffering the loss. Finn can't do this. "I have to check on Liam," he says. Poppy feels bad, and Finn wonders if she expects him to say anything to make her feel better. A nurse knocks and summons him, so Finn leaves. More. Tanner Novlan's daughter turns 6. In Liam's room, Bridget asks a nurse if Liam has been taken for tests. The nurse tells that Dr. Buckingham discharged him into the care of his father, Bill Spencer. Bridget, B&B. Bridget arrives to find Finn and updates him on Grace, Buckingham, relinquishing Liam into Bill's care. Bridget is confident he'll have an army of doctors and nurses. Finn questions if they even know this is what Liam wanted. Bridget is sure Bill would move heaven and earth for his son. Steffi won't shed a tear for Luna. At Forrester, Steffi, Hope and Carter go over the Luna shooting. Steffi will never forget Liam lunging for the gun. He's a great man. Brooke appears and says she agrees. Liam Spencer is a true hero. More. Steffi and Hope altered history. Talk turns to Liam's brain tumor, and Carter reflects on the support that Steffi and Hope have shown him. Brooke wishes the rest of them had known. Hope says Liam wanted it this way. Brooke asks, "So, there's really nothing the doctors can do?" Brooke, B&B. They go over the shooting again, and Steffi says Luna was teasing Liam. Carter wonders about the impact Luna's death had on Finn. Steffi appreciates his care. Brooke sure Finn has mixed emotions. Hope doesn't understand how Luna even imagined she could be in their lives. Steffi claims she grew obsessed. She was extremely dangerous. "I'm not about to drop a tear now that she's gone." Steffi, B&B. Steffi makes a call to check up on Miss Dillon. She was wondering how Liam was doing. Carter worries when Liam will be able to come home. Steffi's confident Bill will insist on keeping him at his residence. She blames him for a lot of this. Hope's simply thankful Liam wasn't stolen from them. More. B&B's biggest twist is still to come. Bill prays for a miracle. At the private clinic, Bill gives someone instructions by phone to wire the money. He mutters to himself that the doctor better know what the heck he's doing. In the OR, Grace assures Liam he's in excellent hands. They put him beneath and exchange a glance. Grace finally says, "Scalpel," and they begin. Liam B&B. In the waiting area, Bill obtains confirmation that the wire transfer has gone through. Looking upward, he tells God if he wants to take someone, to take him. He pleads, "Please, do not take my son from me." Bill B&B. In the OR, Liam's eyelids flutters as Grace and the surgeon work on his brain. Grace joins Bill in the waiting area and informs him the procedure is over. Liam's in recovery. Bill wants to see him now. Grace brings him into the recovery room where Liam is still unconscious. Grace said he will be for a while. The surgeon said the surgery went nicely. Grace informs Bill they pulled off a medical miracle for his son. Bill screams that they were told there's no hope, but now she's saying he could live. Grace nods. That's what she's telling him. Bill marvels the odds of this are 1 in a million. Steffi's 7-word outburst upon discovering Luna's hideout. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers hint that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, may have a 7-word response to discovering a live Luna Nozua's, Lisa Yamada, hideout. Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, will face her daughter-in-law's rage sooner or later. So let's talk about the showdown that's developing. Although Lee claims Luna died in recovery, it's easy to tell that's not true. Lee didn't want to witness Luna get locked up again since she's finally feeling some pity over her past pain. Since Luna got Poppy Nozua, Romy Park, for a mother, Lee feels like her niece and granddaughter didn't have the life she deserved. There's a sense of protective loyalty coming from Lee now. Like she wants to look after Luna and make up for all the ways Poppy disappointed her. Lee will get that chance now that she's undoubtedly taken Luna off somewhere to conclude her rehabilitation in privacy. Deputy Chief Bradley Baker, Dan Martin, was ready to send Luna back in prison and never let her out. But he didn't get the opportunity since Lee evidently staged Luna's death. Since Luna will still be airing on B&B in September, we'll see Luna in hiding at some time. Lee and Luna have more scenes coming up, so she'll be able to explain everything to Luna and offer some actual support. However, this is the kind of secret that's bound to blow up in Lee's face. Lee can't keep something this huge covered permanently, so we should go ahead and think about the ramifications of her dishonesty. Jacqueline McInnes, Wood's maternity, leave may delay matters for a bit, but Steffi will certainly find out what Lee's hiding soon. You can know Steffi's going to unleash her vengeance once she finds Lee lied about Luna's demise. There's really just one way Steffi can react to that terrible discovery. So she seems set to provide this 7-word reaction to Lee. Luna belongs in prison, not with you. Steffi is expected to flip out over Luna living in secret and will argue that Lee is putting everyone at risk. This could lead to the showdown of the century. So stay tuned for updates on the bombshell news ahead for Steffi and the wrath Lee will face. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Stephanie and Hope struggle. The week of July 21st through the 25th, Stephanie and Hope are still struggling, worrying about Liam, hoping he's okay. Neither of them believe Bill, who clearly wants to save Liam's life. But I think he's also searching for a little bit of atonement, because if Bill can save Liam when everybody else was just watching him die and Bill's gone and done something miraculous, that's going to be enormous. I am guessing that when he talks to Steffi and Hope, he's going to tell them to back off Bill. They're not going to like that. Finn steps up for Steffi's. He may try to gain info from Grace. Carter Walton is going to step up for Hope's. I suspect that Liam is hiding a secret. I do expect a full reenactment of the Finn being shot and hidden away. Maybe Luna Nozawa is in a coma. We'll see. But she does have episodes in September. Bold and the beautiful spoilers. Taylor pushes. Liam's future is unknown. We'll find out more about the mysterious doctor soon. I believe it'd be amazing if it was Wayne Brady, who is dropping in as Grace's ex-husband, Ree Buckingham, who did the experimental operation. I mean, he was an OBGYN, but what's the big deal? Lady bits, brain bits, it's all bits, right? You know, Taylor continues trying to finish wedding preparations before he travels. But it's almost to be too late. Brad Bell claims Ridge experiences something in Italy that changes everything. Liam and Bill do some bonding and hoping and praying that this experimental procedure works. I'm assuming it will. And this was all for Scott Clifton's Emmy reel next year. Bridget and Finn may push for answers from Grace. And by the end of the week, look for travel to Italy to kick off. Everybody is on the road since the actual scenes in Italy begin on Monday, July 28th, and they last through Tuesday, August 5th. Liam's pre-op nervous confession. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers update for Wednesday, July 16th, says that Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester will be kept in the dark while Liam Spencer makes a frightened confession to Bill Spencer. After Liam's covertly whisked to a private surgical clinic, Bill will ask if he's doing okay. Liam will say that he believes so, but he'll ultimately feel overwhelmed when he discloses where his head is at. Since Liam's been recovering from Luna Nozawa's bullet, it'll be a lot to digest now that he's ready to undertake an experimental treatment for his brain tumor. Everything will seem like it's happening incredibly fast. So Liam will talk about the operation being provided by Dr. Grace Buckingham and some doctor he doesn't even know yet. Bill will get why Liam's feeling apprehensive, but he'll remind Liam that the alternatives would merely delay the inevitable. This particular procedure won't only offer Liam additional time if it truly succeeds. It might provide a cure and keep Liam alive. Bill will concede that all this is a bit disconcerting, especially because the plan required so much secrecy. Liam may feel a little terrible about leaving Hope and Steffi in the dark, considering they're the moms of his girls. Nevertheless, Bill will feel certain that good news is ahead for Liam and that it'll all be worth it in the end. Grace will walk in on Bill's happiness and compliment his attitude, since optimism goes a long way in times like this. After Grace confesses this is unorthodox, B&B spoilers claim she'll convince Liam that some nerves are to be expected. Even so, Grace will pledge that she believes in her colleague and in the process that's been devised. While Grace preps Liam for the operation table, John Finnegan and Bridget Forrester will have a Liam-related talk back at the hospital. That'll offer Bridget and Finn an opportunity to gush about how brave Liam's been while overcoming so many hurdles. There'll also be some questions about Grace's behavior, so her cover-up about Liam's hospital disappearance may throw off a few warning bells. The Bold and the Beautiful teasers suggest Liam's time in the, or will bring some concern for Bill next. Did the Bold and the Beautiful just save Liam to kill him off? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers claim Liam Spencer is awake and alive following emergency surgery to remove the bullet Luna Nozawa planted in him. But did Grace Buckingham save him simply so the writers could murder Scott Clifton's character off another way? Keep reading to discover out. Here's what's happening next on Bold and Beautiful. Liam wakes up. Soap viewers were on the tip of their seats this week, waiting to see if Liam Spencer woke up after he got shot. Grace Buckingham and Bridget Forrester quickly raced around the operating room and managed to save Bill Spencer's son. Liam is now stable and waking up from surgery, but how much time does he actually have among the land of the living? Before he was shot by Luna Nozawa, Liam was battling cancer and told he had an inoperable brain tumor. Despite Dr. John Finnegan's medical advice, Liam has refused to attend chemotherapy sessions. He doesn't want to spend his final days miserable from the treatments. Liam Spencer's cancer battle. It seems counterproductive for the writers to go to such great measures to spare Liam Spencer from getting shot, only to kill him off a few months later with cancer. B&B teasers have been hinting for a while now that Liam will make a miraculous recovery and beat his terrible prognosis. Since TPB just protected him from getting shot, there seems to be some validity to those allegations. Why save him just to kill him off a few weeks later? Scott Clifton has been tight-lipped regarding his status on The Bold and the Beautiful. No one from the soap has acknowledged nor dismissed the rumors of the actors leaving. Do you think Liam is sticking around? Would you be sad to see Scott Clifton exit? Steffi Forrester's fury was a force of nature, violent, primal, and absolutely uncontainable. The instant she came into Liam's hospital room and saw it empty, clean, and robbed of the warmth and horror that had hung to that space like a shadow for days. Something inside her snapped. The heart monitor was gone. The 4-pole stood alone in the corner like a forgotten relic. And the bed where she had held his hand and whispered frantic pleadings into the sterile air, was stripped bare. Her first instinct wasn't grief or panic, it was wrath. Rage that she'd been left out. Rage that someone had stolen Liam right out from under her nose, and rage that no one had told her. That wrath found its first target in the nearest nurse, a young lady who cringed noticeably under Steffi's screaming demand, "Where is he?" The nurse stammered something about a transfer, a doctor's order, a private facility. Nonsense. Steffi shouted at her again, demanding names, times, locations, but the poor nurse had nothing substantial. That simply made it worse. Because Steffi knew, with a bone-deep conviction, who had done this. Bill Spencer. It had his fingerprints all over it, his arrogance, his concealment, his idea that his money gave him authority over other people's lives. But what devastated Steffi the most was the possibility that Liam might have agreed to it. That maybe, just maybe, he'd chosen to go without telling her. That betrayal was worse than the tumor, the bullet wound, or the hours she had spent desperately yearning for him to open his eyes. She stormed through the hospital hallways, demanding answers from every doctor she saw. Bridget was the first real source of intel. She admitted, grudgingly, that Liam was no longer under hospital care. But beyond that, even she had no idea where Liam had gone. "You're telling me you let him walk out of here without telling his family?" "Without telling me." Steffi spat, her eyes wide and furious. Bridget tried to explain that Grace Buckingham had handled the transfer, that all the paperwork had been signed properly, and that Liam had consented. That merely stoked the flames. Steffi felt played, lied to, manipulated by Bill and Grace, who were acting like gods selecting who lives and who died. She went directly to Finn. Her husband, her partner. He'd know what to do. But even Finn was perplexed. "He's just gone?" he asked in disbelief. Steffi threw up her hands. "Yes, Finn. They took him. They just abducted him like he's some piece of property." The rage had metastasized now. It was no longer merely about Liam's disappearance. It was about control, manipulation, and the horrible conclusion that Steffi, who had always battled tooth and nail to protect her family, had been abandoned on the outside. Again, the way hope had always lingered in the background of her life with Liam. Now Bill was doing the same, pulling the strings behind the curtain, while Steffi was left holding an empty bedpan of memories. She raced into Grace's office next, rushing past an intern and slamming the door behind her. "You tell me where he is, or so help me God." Grace stayed unnaturally calm. Liam gave full consent. But Steffi wasn't interested in law. She was interested in love, family, trust. "And he didn't think I deserved to know?" she hissed. Grace blinked. "He said he didn't want to burden you." That phrase cut worse than any operation could have. Steffi didn't cry, not yet, but her voice quivered as she spoke. "He's my daughter's father. I've been here every second, and he didn't think I deserved the truth." Grace said nothing. That hush resonated louder than any cry. Steffi left the hospital in a stupor, but the wrath boiled just beneath her fancy jacket. Back at Forrester Creations, she tried to work, tried to evaluate designs and pretend she cared about fashion when the guy she loved was somewhere unknown, undergoing experimental brain surgery, maybe by someone with no business being inside his head. But her hands shook too violently to sketch. Her eyes clouded too quickly to evaluate cloth swatches. Taylor discovered her there. Hours later, still sitting behind her desk in the same position, her legs tucked behind her like a young girl lost in a too big world. "He's gone, Mom," Steffi whispered. "They took him, and I wasn't enough to stop it." Taylor tried to soothe her, but Steffi jerked away. Don't tell me it's going to be okay." Taylor's voice cracked. "We have to believe in the best, sweetheart." But Steffi wasn't so sure. Not anymore. Not when Liam's life was in the hands of a lady who had once let her own daughter, Zoe, follow lies across countries. Not when Bill Spencer was playing puppet master again. And not after Liam had looked her in the eyes and told her she was everything, only to go without a word. Steffi's wrath didn't cool over time. It solidified. She approached Hope next at the Forrester design office. "Did you know?" she asked flatly. Hope's face paled. "No, I swear, I didn't." But Steffi wasn't sure she believed her, because no matter how often Hope rejected it, she always appeared to have some unspoken relationship with Liam. "If you hear anything," Steffi threatened, "you tell me. Immediately." Hope nodded solemnly, but Steffi didn't trust anyone now, except maybe Finn, and even he was on thin ice. She needed to know where Liam was, who was cutting into his brain, what medicines they were giving him, whether he was awake, in pain, dying, or dead. And no one could tell her. That night, Steffi cuddled up on the floor of Kelly's room, watching her daughter sleep, tears finally pouring silently down her cheeks. "Your daddy's gone," she murmured, "and I don't know if he's coming back." But wrath doesn't sleep. Rage inspires action. And by morning, Steffi had developed a plan. She called a PI. She texted Carter and asked he investigate into Grace's medical licensing history. She sent Ridge a message, seeking access to the Forrester jet. "I'm going to find him," she said to Taylor, "even if I have to burn down every hospital and clinic in California." Because love may make you weep, but wrath makes you move. And Steffi Forrester was done waiting.